All right, hey guys, it's Justin. Welcome to CJ Farms, and today I'm going to bring you guys a little bit of a ranch update, and mainly it's going to be up here by the house and the corrals and stuff. So anyways, without further ado, let's get started. So today, my grandpa's in town, and so today we went ahead and we did the catwalk boards. And if I have a picture, I will throw that up there of what the catwalk boards looked like before. They were not in good shape at all, and now these are actually really good, and I'm really happy with the way that these boards are. They're nice, stout, sturdy, everything like that. I think in the ranch tour videos I already showed you guys that we got this all done, and this is just the 2x8s, and I think these are 10s, 2x10s. Anyway, one of my grandpa's neighbors, he has a little sawmill and he made these. So yeah, but those are 2x8s, these are 2x10s, and we have other 2x8s, and I'll show you guys those here in a minute. But anyways, this guy here, he's separated off. He had a little bit of a runny nose, so we ran him in yesterday, gave him a shot, and he's all cleared up. I'm just gonna give him a little extra time to let it run through his system so he doesn't become I guess a passer. So we're just giving him a little extra time. Here we are in the process right now of actually putting this gate up. The way that this gate was it was just wired onto this big post here, and it didn't work at all. So it was just pretty much almost permanently chained up, and yeah, so that's how that was. This is a little different from ours because it's not quite the tub system that I'm used to and that I like, but it'll do. This gate here will basically close onto that gate there, and it'll kind of create a little holding pen, and then from there I can run them through. And I'm going to look at Powder River and the Powder River chute and corral systems and see if I can get a backdrop gate, and I want to do a couple of them through here along with some of the spring-loaded gates that were on our other shoot and run. I'm going to try and look for them and see what I can make happen there, but that's the story on that. Just because there's no backstop here, I'll show you here in this alleyway. There's no backstop, not even on the squeeze chute, which actually that chute is going to be removed, and we're going to put our Powder River one in its place. And the current Powder River run system is still over on the 80, and it'll stay there for a little while longer until we get another piece. But yeah, no backstops. We're just using literally pipes in those little square holes here. Try and show you these little square holes here. Literally just slide this pipe in there to hold it. So it's not the best system. It works, but I'm not too happy with it. Yeah, like I was saying, this chute's gonna go. This chute is horrible. I am not very fond of this chute at all. It's literally ran by ropes, and it's not very safe either. Every time we use it, we end up hurting ourselves. So it's gonna go, and I'm gonna move the Powder River one up here and have that. We readjusted the float on this automatic water here, and this is something I didn't actually show, didn't actually like elaborate on, but we have two automatic waters like this, just concrete waters with floats in them. They do pretty well. They were really low, so we adjusted the floats on them, and it works really well now. There's one here and one down here in the feed pen, the pen that we're feeding out for butcher and everything like that. And then down here, pretty much all the same. We got some heifers in there, and then like I said, down there, that's the pen that we're feeding out to go on to butcher. And so that's the next deal there. We still have a lot of stuff to rebuild down in here, so not much has been updated in here, and not a ton has been updated in here, but just enough. In fact, I'm going to show you guys the feed bunk system that we have now. It's still the same feed bunk system, but we did a little work to it here. So yeah, we're in this little holding pen here now. All this junkyard privacy fence stuff is gonna go. It's gonna get taken down, and we're gonna get rid of it. Same within here. But right here, what we did, this gate was sitting here in this opening, and this gate was at the other ranch. So we took that, put it in its place so that we have a stronger gate there. We created this alleyway here so you can come down and get to the feed bunks. We're getting ready to wean here soon, so I got to start reconstructing these panels. They're too tall actually for our mini calves. We tried feeding them in here one time just to see what would happen. And even the mini cows are struggling to reach down here in the bottom. So we got to redo that and make them a little bit lower. If you remember the other feeding panel that we have, we custom built that one. So I don't know if we're just gonna basically pull all these ones apart and cut them apart and just use the pieces and add on, or just get all new pieces and take these ones out to the steel yard. I don't know, but we'll figure that out as we get to it. So now I'm going to take you guys right over here into the farmyard area where we parked the trailers. I'm going to kind of explain that area real quick. All right, so down here it's the farmyard, and there is talk of us putting in a Quonset hut right here in this area. It's going to maintain a dirt floor. We're not going to concrete or anything, but basically what we want to do is we want to have it to where we can run the tractor in, run our equipment in, and just keep it out of the weather. We don't need a full like shop or barn down here. That's why we're leaning towards Quonset hut. It would work really well down here. Anyways, here's part of the wood pile that was here. Dad burnt this while I was in Wyoming at the beet harvest. Next is the tire pile to burn. But over here, I've been bringing up stuff just slowly but surely. I haven't filmed hardly any of it just because it's been kind of on the fly and I've been trying to get stuff done. But we are moving hay soon, and we are moving some of the bigger stuff soon, so I will be getting that on video for sure. But yeah, so we got one round feeder here, we got another one in there, and then one with the bulls. And actually, I didn't show you in even the ranch tour that where the bulls are and what that whole section is. So we'll go up there in this video too. But anyways, down here, this is kind of the wood yard. This is all new stuff that we got. This came off my grandpa's place. All these logs here. These are the boards. I think these are actually 2x6s, not 2x8s. Anyway, these are all 2x6s that a guy actually a couple hours away from us, he has his own sawmill place, and he cuts them and mills them right there. These are rough cut boards, but yeah, he did a pretty good job. Oh, here's the feed panel. Okay, so this is the feed panel I was talking about. As you guys can see where their necks go, it's a whole lot shorter than those feed panels over there. So we're just gonna match this one pretty much and just build more. All these posts here came out of this ranch. The big pile of them was up there. If you remember, there was a building up there. We actually moved around a lot of buildings, and I'll go show you guys those in a minute. We got some pretty cool stuff going on there. Anyways, these are some other boards that we had bought and we're using up. These are just kind of the leftovers, so they're hanging out here. Well, these are these little boards here. They were basically the space boards underneath the wood from the trailer. So they're just hanging out there waiting to be used for whatever. These came from the old ranch, and this green gate here, that came from the old ranch, and we're waiting to put it up. Well, this post was a new post. We used all of our posts except this one, so we're waiting there. But we got some other panels that we gathered up from this place and our old place. We got some other tools and stuff that I brought up. All these T-poles were from this ranch as well, up there by that other building. Yeah, so this is going to be pretty much just the farmyard, kind of like what the farmyard was at the old place where the hay yard was. But we're not going to be having the hay yard down here. We have our hay yard down in the bottom corner, and I'll show you guys that in another video. Not this one, however. We're going to be too tied up with updating you guys up here because we have a lot that's changed. And then we actually built this pipe rack at the end of the pipe season. When I was picking everything up, I had to build Dad and I built this rack, and it went in pretty easy. We just put the posts in and then took some boards that we found around the place, and as you can see here, we sandwiched them up, make it pretty wide, and we can fit a lot of pipe on here, as you guys can see. And under here, we got a lot of pipe that needs redone. In fact, I'll go to the other end to show you guys just how much there is that needs to be fixed or redone and everything else. We got a mess. All right, so here you go. This is all the pipe that needs to be fixed or redone or in some way put on different pipe. Kind of a big pile, and in fact there's more all the way around here. There's no shortage of bad pipe. So this fence here, we went and we did quite a bit of work on this fence here. We pounded almost every single one of these posts except for the old ones that you see standing. We had to pull a bunch out. But yeah, just pounding in more posts, and then up here I'll show you what we did here to tighten up the fence. I had come through with my fence fixer this summer and tightened up every fence that I could. I got to reconstruct some fence, which is actually going to be the next video, so I'll show you guys that. Just reconstructing fence for the winter time, and then come next spring and summer we'll totally rebuild the fence. But what we did is we took these posts, and the fence was super loose, so we pushed the posts as far to the side as we could to put some tension on it, pounded the posts in and put the staples in. It tightened up this fence really well. I'm really happy with it. It did a really good job. We haven't had any calves walk through it since then, so I think it did a pretty good job. All right, now the next place we're coming to here, we put a lot of work into this. So we made our own basically driveway out to the fields here. This will lead you right up there into the house yard and everything like that. But this fence, as you guys may know, this fence was not here before. We pounded every single one of these posts, and then we put rails up here and painted it. It goes up that side, and then that side comes down on that side, and built a little area around the play yard there. And then we put in these green H&W brand gates. We actually bought quite a few of these. There's a set up there, set here, and a set here. We're replacing these in every place that they had a barbed wire gate, and I like them a lot more than the barbed wire gates. Obviously out there in the fields we're going to keep some of those barbed wire gates, but up here we traded them out, just give it a more unified look, and I think it improved overall the whole feeling of this, because there was no real definition between house and the ranch. It was all pretty much just blended together, and it didn't really flow that well. But I feel that we have totally improved with a lot of things just in this little span of summer and fall. We still got a lot more to do, but we're getting a good start at it already. All right, now to the buildings. So this little building here, as you guys can see, this gray cage came from the old chicken coop at the old ranch. We moved it up here when we came, and we got it all set up. Mom actually has some chicks in here. Here you go. You stay in, guys. No, you stay in. Yeah, there you go. So we turned this one into a chicken coop. It's working pretty nice. It's keeping them all nice and warm and everything on these cold nights. And up here, so these are all the tire feeders that we've had all over the place. We put for hay mainly. We've turned a few into automatic waters, and that works pretty well. Now inside this shed, I don't know how well you guys will be able to see, but this is all basically just like the, I guess, watershed, you could say. I'm gonna put all the irrigation stuff in here, and we got all the garden hose type stuff in here, some poly pipe, and basically anything water hose related, we're putting it in here. Anything like our sprayer bar, we got that in here. And like I said, I got some irrigation stuff I want to throw in there, like the riser caps and adapters and stuff like that, end caps. Even the hoses from the big gun, and I think the big gun itself I'm going to put in there. But moving into the fencing shed now. So it's pretty self-explanatory, just a bunch of fencing stuff. Yeah, so we got electric fence, barbed wire, all of our tools for fencing. We got tamping bars, spud bars, everything like that in here. We got staples. Yeah, like I said, everything for fencing. It's pretty self-explanatory. I shouldn't have to elaborate too much on that. You guys are going to see me using a lot of that stuff here in the next video. Now moving on, this is where I've been parking the tractor recently just so we can have it plugged in. We run a cord straight out of the back of the shop here. Plug in the tractor, and this is where that big steel pile was actually. If you go back to when we were hauling steel, the steel pile started like right here, kind of went over there. It was in this little alleyway right there too. But now we're working our way into the fuel shed and garden shed. We got like my weed eater in here, mom's garden tiller, the pressure washer, leaf blower, and then we got all of our red dye barrels. And this is the coolest thing ever. It's a battery powered fuel pump, and I will show you guys that in another video. But that is the coolest thing one of the coolest things, I should say. This big fuel barrel here, this came with the place. We got to move our fuel barrel up here and get the stand up here and everything like that. I don't know if we're going to have them both operating or not. That's kind of a lot of fuel for what we're doing. We don't typically use a ton, but yeah, you never know. We might get this one. We might get them both up and running. We'll see basically in time. But yeah, so this is basically the fuel shed, and we're going to work on making it like each and every one of the front of these buildings. We're going to make it look like an old Western type town, if that makes sense. I think it's going to be pretty sweet. We also went and totally gutted out the inside of that corn crib, and that's where our storage stuff is now. Since at the old ranch, you know, we had the basement, we had some other storage out in the barn and everything like that. We don't have all that now. We kind of dwindled on a little bit of storage stuff, storage area, so we had to make that corn crib into that storage area, since that's not going to be utilized as a corn crib or a grain crib, whatever you want to call it. So that's the story on that. But yeah, I think I've covered everything down here. We're gonna move up there now. Yeah, like I said, I've been going around tightening up fences everywhere since the mini calves, mind you, they seem to find every single spot, every single hole in the fence they will find, I guarantee it. So they're in a spot now where they've got electric fence around them, so they ain't going nowhere. They actually respect the electric fence more than any other thing. So all right, so before I get to the bulls, I thought I'd explain this little section here. So we're here, we got our hay equipment stored over there. This fence here, I've been going and tightening up, or I tightened up earlier this summer, and it's not as tight as I was wanting it to be, but this is also another fence that's just gonna need reconstructed, but it is a lot better than what it used to be. I do have some stuff I gotta go back and redo, but that borders one of the pastures, and it goes down there and borders another one. So that's kind of an important fence. It keeps them out of this yard. But down here, we're talking about turning this little area here into like a mini grain field, pretty much. Now up here where the bulls are, this is a pretty cool little section here. So this is all treed in, and yeah, the bulls are just kind of hanging out in here. So this is kind of a woody kind of spot. But yeah, hey Neb, hi buddy. So this is pretty neat here, guys. And I didn't show you this earlier because I didn't think of it. But this leads into a big riding arena, horse riding arena. And what we're gonna use it for is basically kind of what we're using it for now. This goes to the back of the house. I got the water trough set up over there. Basically it's just a spot where we can throw bulls or what have you. And yeah, so just kind of an extra spot that we can use that's not going to be really tearing up ground or anything like that. Anyways, you guys, I think that's just about gonna do it for us. If you liked, please hit that like button, please subscribe. I'll keep you guys in the loop, and the next video I'll be doing some fence work. I've got an announcement to make to you guys, so with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys.